Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. And if you guys have already been subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Today's video is a full face of all the nude items that I picked out from Ulta, Sephora, a little bit from Laura Lee Los Angeles. I have a lot of Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics brand. I picked out Laura Lee's the newest palette, the Nudi 2 palette. Not the newest, I think, but this is the palette that really called out to me. So I picked out that. A few beauties from like Smashbox and Too Faced, and I have a bunch of KKW beauty lipsticks, a lot of new things, and this is the makeup look that I came out with. So if you guys want to see how I achieved this look, then please keep on watching. I am so excited to test out all these makeup. Cannot wait. So let's start. For the primer, I picked out this Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. So let's try this. I've heard like great things about it, but I never tested it out. It's more on like that gel consistency, very transparent. So I'm gonna take a very tiny little bit and just concentrate that on like my center of the face, because that's where I have like the maximum amount of pores. And concentrate it there, and moreover like press it down there. It's a very smooth primer, not like a silicone texture, but pretty smooth. I don't know how to explain it. Very gel consistency. And I already did my brows using my Arches and Halo eye pencil. After that, for the perimeters of the face, I have like the sample of Huda Beauty's Water Jelly Hydrating Primer. This one. So let's try that all over the face just to see how it performs on my combo face. This also feels like a very jelly primer, like a water consistency primer. We'll see how it rolls. Again, very transparent and very watery. So you can see the consistency, like it just glows. So I'm going to put that on the perimeters of the face. I have a lot of people visiting again. So once I focus that on the outside of the face, it's basically like a hydrating primer. It feels like water basically. I don't know how much and what it is doing to my skin, because it's not that tacky or anything. It has a little bit of stickiness, but not much. It just feels like a lightweight moisturizer on the face. Nothing much, not that impressed, but yeah, let's move on. For the foundation, I'm going to take my Too Faced Peach Perfect Matte Foundation, and this I am in the shade Latte. It's a pretty thick foundation, but I think it's going to work out. So let's apply. See, it seems a little more on the yellow side, but I'm pretty sure if I blend it out, it'll be okay. I basically have like a fall look in my mind. We'll see how it goes. Super excited about the fall. Absolutely my favorite season, climate wise as well as like makeup wise. I love like matte finish skin and like a little more on the heavier side on the eyes, and getting excited for the holiday releases. Oh my god, it's so crazy. Feels like the year just started and it's almost over. So that shade worked out beautifully actually. I don't think I need to add any more coverage because I'm happy with the coverage that I have right now. That's a very soft matte finish. Like very skin-like, but I like the coverage that it gave me. Now I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just going to use my Believe Beauty concealer. And this I am in the shade Light Beige. And I'm just gonna blend it with the same brush, just because I want it to melt into my skin pretty nicely. And just to set my face, I'm going to use my number 7 pressed powder, and this I am in the shade Medium. Taking the same powder, I'm just going to dust it all across my face, just to set everything down. And then we're gonna get into some exciting products that I picked out from Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale that was happening. Very excited to try those products. So now let's move on. I picked out this Jaclyn Cosmetics Bronze and Blushing Duo in the shade Hot Lava and Cocoa Rich. And this is how it looks. It's pretty deep in the pan, and for a reason I picked it out because I do not have this kind of a blush at all in my collection. And it comes with like a beautiful huge mirror and sits beautifully. The packaging absolutely luxe, but it definitely is a little more on the bulkier side, as you can see, but it looks and feels luxe. So let's apply it and see how it rolls. I'm going to first take the bronzer shade. It looks a little more on like the milk chocolatey side, but it also feels like it has a red undertone. So super pigmented, as you can see, but it's expected because I picked out a little more on like the deeper side blushing duo. So I'm going to take a very light amount on my brush, but definitely has like a red undertone, as you can see. Like I can definitely make it work in like the summer season, but I heard a lot of people complaining that it is very like less pigmented, and I definitely did not want like one more pink blush in my collection. So I thought of picking this up. Again, can definitely make it work, but I would go with like a very light amount. It definitely gives like a very skin-like finish on the skin. Doesn't like look super matte or super glowy, which is pretty nice. And once I have all that like set, I'm just going to take my powder brush with no product on it. I'm just going to concentrate that on my forehead where I went like overboard, and just blend everything across the face so that's all blended together. So whenever you have like a deeper shade of bronzer, this is a great trick to do. After applying the bronzer, just run your powder brush across your face. I'm very scared about the blush too now because it's super pigmented. Now I'm going to take this blush in the shade Hot Lava, and it looks more like a coral with like a hint of pink and orange in it. So see, one tap picks out a lot of products. I'm going to start with that. See, that's beautiful. I mean, it's pigmented for sure. You definitely don't need much, but it shows up very nicely on the skin. See, look at that. I would love this for fall for sure. Like this, and with like a very light makeup on the eye would be stunning. But today, because we have to test another palette, I am gonna do a little bit of eye makeup too. So this is definitely gonna last me a long time. I know that because it's so pigmented. Now let's move on the highlighter side. Another product from Jaclyn Cosmetics is the highlighter that I picked out, and this one is in the shade Mesmerized. I had iced with me, and I definitely wanted to pick out another shade which is less on the icier side, so I thought of picking up Mesmerized, and this looks lovely. So let's apply and see how it feels on the skin. It looks more like a peachy gold, very similar to the Becca's Champagne Pop, I would say. Let's apply and then see. Look at that. I mean, that exactly looks that shade. So if you guys were like eyeing Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop, I think Mesmerized is the shade for you. It's a beautiful gold but with like a peachy hint. I definitely feel like for medium tan skin tones, this is the shade that would be most flattering on your skin. Super blinding too, but not as blinding as Iced. Iced was like, whoa, what have you applied? It's like that. So I like that too. I love the complexion, how everything is turned out. Let's move on to the eyes now. Now for the eyes, I picked out this Laura Lee Los Angeles palette, and this is the first product that I'm going to try out from Laura Lee Los Angeles. And this is their Nudi 2 palette. I love the packaging. I get a very much of like that KKW Beauty palette vibes. Especially with their packaging, it feels exactly like that. And this is how the palette looks. It has Nudi 2 written on top of it with like a glossy finish, and then it comes with like a huge mirror And then these are the shades. Seems very fall-esque with like the bronzy tones as well as burgundy tones with like a hint of pink in it. Super excited to try this. I've not tried this at all. So let's begin. First, I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and then dip into the shade called Bum. I mean, the shade names are funny. And then let's see how it applies. Oh, super pigmented. I mean, I definitely thought that that shade is super light, but shows very nicely on the eyes for sure. I mean, you can see the difference. And blends also very smoothly. There's no skipping or anything. A very nice peachy shade. I'm going to definitely try a lot of shades today and see how it goes, but yeah, that's what my main aim is today, just because I'm testing out a palette. Technique is not more important as much as like trying out the shades. I like that a lot. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the shade called Patootie from the palette. And I'm gonna actually take the same brush. It's more of a mid-tone rosy brown shade. Oh, these are super pigmented for sure. That shade and like this pink all over the lid would be such a great matte look. This is the only shade that has like pink with like specks of glitters running throughout it. Otherwise they have 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes, like creamy mattes, and then they have 3 basic shimmer shades, and I can see one matte with like pressed glitters and 2 like super dimensional shades. I don't know whether they are toppers or not, but it seems like it. I really like that shade. Now I'm going to take this shade, which is called Low Cut, and I'm going to dust that in my lower lash line. Again, a very mauve shade. That's like my favorite kind of shade to apply all over the lid and like run out of the door. It never fails me. For a one and done eye look, this kind of shade is like my favorite for sure. Just for fun, I really want to try that shade, the pink shade, just on my lid and just to see how it rolls. Like, it's super light, maybe because I'm applying it with that brown, it doesn't like show up that much. Yeah, not my favorite shade out of the palette for sure. Yeah, that shade, not my favorite. The blushing shade, but might be a great like transitioning shade. Now just to deepen out the outer corner, I'm going to take this shade, which is called Risque, which is like the eggplant aubergine shade. Seems pretty dark in the pan and seems a little powdery too. Not much, but yeah. I think that would deepen out the eye look really well. Yeah, that's a beautiful shade. I'm going to join the lower lash line too. Oh, I like that shade. This is definitely turning out to be a great fall eye. Now definitely wanna take, I don't know what to do. Okay, I wanna take this shade which is called Skimpy from the palette, which is like the traditional shimmer from the palette. It seems super creamy. I mean, it's picking up very nicely on the brush, on the flat shader brush. And I'm going to concentrate that right here in the center of my eyelid. Again, not blowing my socks off. Let me apply it with my fingers and see. I mean, it picks up very nicely, as you can see. Oh, that's so much better. So finger is the way to go, or just like wet your brush? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I would apply those creamy mattes with the fingers or just spray the brush. So much more impact. I love it. Yep. And then just blend the edges together so that there's no harsh lines. And now I'm going to dip into this shade, which is called Nudi from the palette, right in the center, the topper shade, I think. Oh, it seems a little rough when I pick it up, but it's super dimensional. So let's apply it and see. Oh, wow. Like, look at that. Oh, wow. Oh man, that's crazy. That's definitely my favorite shade of the palette. Oh, that looks stunning. That's going all over my eyelid. Can you see it? Wow, Nudi is amazing. I think the highlight of the palette would be Nudi and Cheeky because it's the same formula. Wow, that's stunning. Can you see that? That's stunning. Okay, for the inner corners, I'm gonna take this shade which is called Sheer from the palette. Yeah, that's beautiful. That shade was also amazing. I'm gonna take Cheeky and just apply it right in the center on top of that pink. Yeah, just use your fingers, and those shades, the topper shades, are stunning for sure. No doubt in that. I'm going to finish off this eyes with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. The setting would be completely off because I took a break. My phone's battery completely switched off. Okay, long story short, I finished off my eyes and I applied Glamnetic lashes, and this is in the shade Venus on my eyes. That's what you're seeing, like extra lashes. For my lips, I lined my lips with KKW Beauty's lip liner in the shade Nude 2. And for the lipstick, I actually picked out 3 lipsticks from KKW Beauty during the Ultra 21 Days of Beauty. And I also do have the Rare Beauty lipstick in the shade Thankful. So I feel like any of them would go. Let's try a Rare Beauty one. Yeah, I like that. It's a very moisturizing lip. With the lip liner, I think it will go really well. But if you're looking for like more of a deeper lipstick, I love this shade, which is called Classic Icon 1 from KKW Beauty. Now they are going with some revamping. The only thing that I hate about this lipstick is it's just so messy. Can you see that? It almost came broken. Like, it completely came off broken, and it's tilting towards one side, if you can see. And the bullet, it melts like crazy. I do not know. I have to apply this with the lip brush, which is super annoying, but the shade is stunning, so I look past that. And so I'm gonna just mix that too. It's super comfortable, and the shade is stunning, absolutely stunning. So that's how everything is looking so far. I'll just finish off by spraying my face with my e.l.f. setting spray, the Jen Atkin one. They should have kept this in their permanent line. I absolutely love this spray. Oh, I love the way everything is turned out. I really hope that you guys like it too. Let me just give you a close-up. Now, talking about the products that we tried today, I really like the palette. I really like it. The mattes is super creamy, very blendable. I feel the shimmers, you need to apply it with the fingers, and these topper shades are amazing. They're stunning, absolutely stunning. I loved it. The only shade that I'm not like a big fan of is the shade Blushing, but I would apply this more on the crease rather than on the lid. I would say. And the shimmers that is in the shade blushing, it's not that prominent on the eyes. I mean, yeah. So I will treat that as a matte. Now, talking about the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, this palette was super pigmented, like super pigmented. So if you are like medium tan skin tone like me, I would say go with like a very light amount on the brush, but it performed beautifully. I mean, the powders blended very nicely on my skin. It's not tugging onto any of my acne or any of my dry skin, which I absolutely loved. And as per the highlighter, I mean, Jaclyn Cosmetics are known for their highlighters, and this is no different. I absolutely love the shade Mesmerized that I tried. Apart from that, lipsticks I really liked, but as I said, it's very melting formula. So I think the bullet needs to be securely packed. It just squishes everywhere, which I do not like, and I picked out 3 shades just because it was like under $5. And even this one, it's the same scenario. It's like very slanted, and it's like, can you even see? It's all like smushed in the packaging, so I have to apply it with like a brush. Yeah, but yeah, I can look past it just because of the formula. This is the only one that came intact, and this one was in the shade Pink 3. And I'm not a big pink fan, but I applied it like yesterday with like a brown lip liner, and it went beautifully with the undertone of my skin. So big fan of the KKWBT lipsticks. The formula is stunning, the packaging not so much. So that's how everything is looking so far. I loved this primer, Huda Beauty's primer, not so much, and Too Faced foundation was really good. So I really like the way everything came out. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this fall makeup look that I created today. And I went less on the burgundy side, although I love burgundies in the fall season. But yes, if you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every week, every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.